Hi guys, it's Casey here at Colonial Gardens. Today I am in our test gardens, which is a new area for us. It is the beginning of August, and so I wanted to introduce you to some of the plants that we put in and talk a little bit about what our test gardens are. So here, being a garden center, we sell thousands of different types of plants. That makes it impossible for any one of our staff members to be super familiar with every single variety that comes out every year. So we wanted to give our staff and ourselves as managers a chance to plant up different areas of the store that were underutilized and see how some of the annuals that we sell turn out. It also gave us a little chance to work at some design elements and really just see how things fare against some normal restraints in the garden. So some things to know about this space: it is on a bank. We have intense rabbit pressure right now. We also have some milder deer pressure now that we're in the summer. They're finding food elsewhere, but it is something we have to think about. And it's an area where we can water, but we really don't have a lot of excess time to baby the space. So these plants have to be ones that are fairly low maintenance overall as part of the plan, but we'll talk about how each of them fared. So again, my name's Casey. I designed this garden space here. And we can start up at the top. My cameraman is Pat. He's also on our plant care team, and he'll be showing you a garden of his next week. So right behind me is Blue Horizon Ageratum, aka floss flower. If you're familiar with Ageratum, you might normally see it in a mounding variety, but this one is actually grown more for cut flowers, so it gets up to 30 inches tall. We planted it behind our greenhouse last year, and it was such an unexpected superstar that I wanted it to back my space here because I wanted to go with a monochromatic color palette and really see a couple new varieties, how they played up against each other. So I think the thing I underestimated about this is I knew it was going to add cool texture. I knew it was going to be hardy and a good performer. I knew it was going to be pest resistant, but I did not expect the number of bees and other pollinators we have seen visiting it. So it is very active with insects, which is awesome, and exactly what we want, and kind of a bonus with a lot of annuals. So I am going to give this one I think 9 out of 10. Pat, what would you give this?
I think I'd be there with you at 9 out of 10 as well. 9 out of 10.
I think like the scrappy deadheads are like the only thing that kind of, it's untidy. You have to have the right space for it, but if you let it do its thing, it's a really awesome background plant. I'm really happy with it. Right in front of it, we have Dusty Miller, a classic plant in the annual house, grown for its foliage. And I really wanted the silver to contrast with those blues. This is a little bit of a compact variety. It's got more of a lace leaf to it, which almost gives it like a fall look. I think I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. What do you think, Pat?
I feel 7 or 8 is accurate.
It's hard to give it like some superstar number because it really isn't like, it's not meant to be the standout in the garden. It's supposed to be an accent. I definitely love growing annuals for their foliage because you don't have to rely on deadheading or spent blooms being an eyesore. Dusty Miller is really drought tolerant, and it's been a really good performer. You're gonna notice I'm sitting in like a blank space here. Do we still have any? Oh, I'm like right next to it. There's a tiny little plant here. This is Euphorbia. It is annual Euphorbia. I thought this little like snow-like blooms would be a really cute accent in between the Dusty Miller, and it's supposed to be both deer and rabbit resistant, so I thought it'd be a great addition to this garden, and it completely failed basically in this space. I don't know exactly what went wrong with it. I don't know if it got outcompeted by the other plants. I don't know if we had too wet of a spring. I'm really not sure, but it really did very poorly in this space. I think next year I'd still want to try it in a container to see if that's a friendlier environment for it, but I think I gotta give it a 1 out of 10 because I think that's the number of plants that survived.
That's about right, yeah.
Yeah, 1 out of 10. So cool in the pot, feels like it has potential, just did not perform in this space. Now this sea of purple right in front of me, this is a Supertunia Blue Tiara. It is a new variety from Proven Winners this year. If you're familiar with Supertunias, they do not need deadheading, and they're super vigorous, which are two things you really want out of a petunia if you want to be a low maintenance gardener. Supertunias I have fallen deeply in love with. The year I had my daughter, I was not spending a lot of time fertilizing and watering, and the Supertunias just did their own thing. And just by virtue of being a Supertunia, this variety has been very successful in this space. The only comment I really have on it, because we're working with a really thick blanket of blooms, is that it is advertised as a blue, which is always a little bit hard to achieve already in flowers, and it's definitely purple. And then it's also advertised as almost looking like it glows with a light throat. And if you look a little bit closer, I don't know, Pat, if you want to zoom in a little bit, some of these flowers kind of achieve a gentle ombre from a light blue to, or a light purple to a darker purple, but some of them are just really strictly white in the center and dark purple around the sides. I think the color actually has improved over time. It's clearly a really unstable gene, flower to flower, because there's been such variation, and even based on weather it seems to change. But it did not achieve the look I was really interested in. And Pat, if you want to pan a little bit, in the garden next to it, we actually put the Mini Vista Indigo, and that one I'm so much more thrilled with. It's got a lot of variation in the different colored purples. It's got dark veins in there. It's still not a blue, but it's a closer to a blue feeling than this one achieved. So I think for the Supertunia Blue Tiara, I'm gonna give it a 6.5, mostly due to it being a Supertunia and having all the good virtues of being a Supertunia. It's gone up a little bit because the color has evened out a little bit. What about you, Pat?
I like them a lot. I'd probably go about an 8 on them
Yeah?
with how easy they are to grow and the color on them.
That's fair enough. Yeah, the easiness to grow you really can't beat in the garden. If you want something just super vigorous, it's Supertunias all day, every day. All of these were planted around the same time, and then I noticed I was gonna put a planter right in front of this bed, and I ran out of time. And so a little later in the season, I put in some sweet Alyssum because I had heard that they're very pest resistant, and we had been battling the bunnies. So if you look at that nice, delicate purple flower, Pat, if you want to pan a little bit over to the verbena next to it, the bunnies have annihilated. So not pest resistant. Obviously, sweet Alyssum has survived all the bunnies. It was established later. It really didn't start looking good until like 3 days ago. So the good thing about sweet Alyssum is it tends to do really well in the shoulder months. So I think it's going to continue to perform for us through October, which is great because we have all our events during that time. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. What do you think, Pat?
That feels about right.
Yeah, I think it could potentially, if it fills out more, go beyond my expectations, but I think it's never really gonna be, again, that showstopper that either the Ageratum or the Supertunias are in the garden. So this is my blue-inspired monochromatic garden. Hopefully you learned a little bit about the different annuals that we planted this year. Every year we plan to change it up a little bit and learn more and more about the different varieties that we carry and how they really survive in real world settings. So I hope you'll follow along with us. If you learned something in this video, give us a like and subscribe to our channel.